Hey guys, we're here with 15 underrated Minecraft mods for 1.20.1, and let's get it. The first mod we're looking at is called Easy More Magic. With Easy More Magic, it spawns a few different structures throughout your world. With those structures, you will find many items. With those items, you can make stuff like this, and you can find a bunch of stuff like this. But if you don't know where to start, then use this book. With this book, it gives you actual like quests to start off with. So like this one, find loot chest, and you should probably do them in order. And there's just like a decent amount of pages of what you want to do, your statistics and stuff like that. But then a couple of the things they have is this rocket thing that just shoots you forward, kill seconds, and then they have this one, which spawns mist around me. It gives me a tad bit of invisibility if I need. There's this one which pulls you whatever direction you're looking at, like so. So I'm like going in the air, and then it just shoots, and then like if I let go, they'll shoot a big thing of air. So something else this mod adds, this mod actually helps some of the wands. This mod actually is for 4 different elements like fire, earth, water, and air, like that. But this ring helps with 3 of those, or 2 of those, whatever. And then actually you see how it looks like that? It really throws you off, but it helps you a lot in the long run, and it gives you this ring. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called Medievalry. With this mod, it adds a bunch of medieval armor and a bunch of like other stuff like banners and hats. It also adds a bunch of armor in general with like unique recipes that aren't super hard to make, but I guess some of them are kind of hard to make. But with them, you can even get like some cosmetics like hay bale. If you don't want to make them, you can also find them in structures like this that like go down to the bottom. In these structures, they don't really go super far down, but they spawn a chest in them with a couple other pieces of armor. Most likely than not, they're probably not going to be super great, but still you can still find some stuff. You can find some leggings, like some stuff like this. You can look crazy because I don't think I'm going to war like this, but you know, who knows. Last but not least, this mod adds 2 different types of slots for Curios, the hat and the banner. And with these 2, you put the banner like that, and it actually like stands behind you like so. And then the hat, you put it like that, and so on. And I'm looking amazing right now. The next model we're going to be looking at is called Clayable. With Clayable, you'll find some ores like so. So with these 2 things, you can't smelt it or anything, but you can use this thing right here. You make like so, and with it, you like click on it, and you can sift through it to get the copper and the clay, if you want your actual iron and stuff. And then this mod also adds tools of red clay, and the raw versions as well. So something else, this mod also adds a couple like buckets of like raw clay and clay, and then it adds a couple of different types of blocks and so forth. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Dynamites Overhaul, and with this mod it adds 4 different types of things. So use this to make this thing, which you use to make the 2 other types of TNT, and these bombs are made a different way. But if I use this bomb and I click it, it gives me 2 seconds and then it blows up. The biggest explosion of them all is this one, which it gives me a second longer to back away if I need to. So I'll go like right here, and it does a big explosion if you need it. If you just want to become a mass griefer, then I guess this is for you. I don't know. That's what the second one looks like. And this third one is basically like a regular creeper explosion. Have you ever wanted to become a samurai in Minecraft? This mod is for you. So it's called Samurai's Craft. So with this mod, you get a few different types of samurai armor, each for each tier of material in regular Minecraft. So with it, you put it on like this, and it looks like so. Pretty cool. So at this moment, it doesn't show a way to make netherite, but you can make diamond, and you use diamond with the gold one, and the gold one with the iron, and the samurai helmet, which you use iron and these things, which are like that. So it's a bit spendy, but it's definitely worth it in the end to make some cool armor like so. The next mod we're going to be looking at is called New World. With this mod, it adds a subtle new biome and a new rock type. But the thing that stuck out to me most with this mod is this tombstone. With this tombstone, if I die, so like if I say /kill, I die and dropped all my stuff, but it puts it in the template, so when I break it, I think I pick up the template in survival, but then I get my stuff back. So it's basically just holding my stuff so it doesn't despawn. But then you can find this tool, which is its own tool, which you make like so with this smithing template, which you make like this, where you find throughout the world. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Bagged. With Bagged, it adds a ton of different bags for every soil type and pretty much every seed and crop. With this mod, it's basically better storage, so you can make this thing like so, and you use this with like whatever you want. You can put potatoes in there and stuff like that to fill it. So it's definitely better for storage if you need some extra storage space at the moment. With this mod, it adds a bunch, like I said, and then a couple small ones as well. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Arda's Sculk. With this mod, it adds a bunch of small things to your world with Sculk. Plus, in the chest, it adds new loot and some Sculk pieces that you use to make arrows, or a Sculk arm that is basically a Warden's arm. But you can use this golden Sculk right here to make the better version of the arm. Plus, this mod adds a bunch of different plants and some blocks, and it even adds different types of Sculk ores. So there's gold, there's emerald, and there's quartz and some sacred obsidian. So with this mod, it adds a Sculk bow, which you only get from the skeletons. So you get it from these Sculk skeletons. And you find this Sculk template somewhere in the place, and you use it to make this armor right here. That's just a better version of netherite, and you can even make a Patchouli. Oh yeah, this mod also makes it so when you kill the warden, you get better stuff. This guy is kind of screwed. I put him down here for a stupid reason probably. But you use this advanced furnace to get like good trades out of him. And right now these are kind of crappy because you have to acquire these through the villager, and that's the only way. But you make this thing right here, which is better. But this usually has better trades, like you can actually trade Sculk and stuff like that, or even the pieces, the shards, to get like these, and then you can trade these to get like some tools. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Movie Stuff, and with this mod it adds two things from the Minecraft movie, the golem, and it adds the boots. So with these boots, it gives you crazy speed and jump boost. But if you want this guy in your own world, you can put this guy on the ground, and if you toss your boots at him, it turns him into the swift golem. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Adventures Beyond. So with this mod, it adds a bunch of armor types that you make most of them with these smithing templates right here, either using netherite or some of the material. With it, it adds a few different new biomes and structures, mainly through the end. There's a couple other structures like so. There's also this one. It also adds over 30 different types of creatures. So in this structure, it spawns this, where it's a boss. With this boss, you kill it. When you kill it, you get these celestial plating. And with it, you either make a shield or you can make a better set of armor. This is one of the best sets of armor in the game. So another thing this mod adds is it adds this key that you have to find in either an end city or one of the bigger ones right there. With this end key, you'll need to make the Eye of the Ancients and go back to the overworld. You make it like so. So once you're in the overworld like I am, you throw it and it sends you in a direction like it does the stronghold. When you finally get to the end of where this Eye of the Ancients leads you, use this key and it actually sends you to a new dimension. In this dimension, you need to be careful. It's basically like an ether, but it has its own mechanics. This dimension also has a structure like this, which has a secret area that goes down and down to a little area that's like a big dungeon. And then the main thing you want to do is it has this portal right here. But with it, you go up to the top. When you get to the top, you'll stumble upon this runestone golem. Its regeneration is crazy, so you'll have to kill these 4 pillars to be able to actually damage this guy. But when you attack these things, this guy will also attack you. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Horse Stable, and with Horse Stable, it spawns your own structure with horses just randomly throughout your world. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Cosmetic Armor, and with Cosmetic Armor, it adds a bunch of random stuff. It adds a glass sword, it adds just some rose gold axes, and some prismarine tools. And prismarine tools you can make like with prismarine. And it adds some Sculk tools. So the interesting thing this mod adds, it actually makes it so you can cover your tool in seed or grass or whatever it is, and then you can actually make a bouquet and stuff. The next model we'll be looking at is called Rose Gold Equipment, and with Rose Gold Equipment, it's kind of self-explanatory. You make rose gold, you make this. But the thing that this mod adds, it actually adds a decent amount of gilded food, so like gold foods, and it adds this raw gold, which you actually make this with bronze and gold, and you smelt this, and after you smelt this, you turn it to that, and then you can make this into stuff. But you can make cool blocks with it. You can make some jelly, cookies, and so forth. The next model we're looking at is called Winged Sandals. With Winged Sandals, it makes this thing. You see how I'm in survival, so you make it like this, and then you put it on, and you can actually have survival flight. You don't take fall damage, you don't take any of that stuff, but it's just an easier way to fly if you want to fly in survival. The next model we'll be looking at is called Chainmail Bucket. With Chainmail Bucket, it's a bucket made of chainmail. But the thing about this bucket, it has holes in the bottom, so then you can pick up the block. So like, if I do this, I can pick up the block, but then it like puts like a time it below me. It also does the same with lava, so personally, I wouldn't recommend doing that part if you want to be lit on fire. But something else about this, you can actually put it on your head upside down and be wearing a chainmail bucket. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more, please stick around for the next 3 weeks. I will be posting 2 times a week. Peace.